Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day one for Leap to Greatness.
It was really, we have to look at the purpose why we were created in the first place. It was really to serve the residents of the city. One of my goal is to put the University of Makati in the map amongst the world-ranked universities. And we cannot achieve that unless, we actually put in a higher level our academic standards.
As we craft new path for our university in the next 50 years, I hope that we keep that in mind. It's really about social mobility, adding value to the lives of our students, their families, and the community that we are in.
It is necessary to do the groundwork, to align what we have been doing with our end in mind, our vision. So our best strategic management practice programs range from senior high school, technical voc, professional, baccalaureate to graduate programs, including a law school, primarily addressing the needs of the city. It is potentially becoming at par with higher education institutions in the Philippines. Evidence of quality as a way of life, not just in education, but in systems and processes. Branding is adhered upon, most especially on social media and communications management. Quality education is manifested by exemplary passing rates in national licensure examinations. We have government, academic, industry partnerships that amplify the outcomes in terms of practice readiness and employability of graduates. We have holistic student services to cover for extracurricular activities and mental wellness. Research and extension agenda alignment with the city and with the program's disciplines, expected outcomes. Research publication of the university is indexed in Andrew Gonzalez Philippine Citation Index. We have excellent facilities and equipment in the laboratories for allied health, arts, sports, animation, information, and computing sciences. Flexible learning, particularly hybrid modality, is present, optimizing on-site learning with digital pedagogy. Applying for institutional recognition is one of the best strategic management decision to amplify opportunities for growth and development as a higher education institution in the Philippines. Cultivating an internationalization perspective which would open to more opportunities for the stakeholders.
From a diminutive pupa or cocoon, we became a stunning butterfly. We are already pollinating locally and globally.
Total of 528 research outputs. The top 10 keywords are students, university, learning, Makati, program development, management, education, study, and technology.
So the university's goals and its experiences during the pandemic, the challenges of globalization and the fourth industrial revolution are driving the enhancement of structure, processes, and competencies.
We were able to streamline the process of our budget hearings, at least locally in the university, and we were able to reduce the local hearing to just one session. Another is actually the creation of AIP software which UMak is using. Tayo na po yung gumagamit nito.
HSU is actively partnering with different industries and colleges of the University of Makati. We have implemented integration of data analytics in our STEM program under the academics track.
Meron kaming plano ni VPJ na kung tayo ay gagawa ng Open University, I think that classroom would essentially be the inspiration.
We also explored the possibility of crafting a curriculum on BS in disaster management. So we mentioned all that the curricular offerings that can be, that can address, the landscape of future education.
Leading to, again, challenging the programs to to actually apply to become center of excellence or center of development, going to that level of autonomy and deregulated status until we reach the highest or the peak, which is going to be international accreditation, okay, or ISO status and all of that. It's not always about rowing together. It is rowing towards the same destination or the same direction.
The most important question is, are we committed and ready to bring again UMak as a top-performing school, because we have already done that in our pharmacy, radiologic technology in our School of Law. So are the other colleges, the 5 board-directed programs, ready to again bring UMak as a top-performing school?
They were all yeses. If to put it in a gist, 3 offices said yes. Foresight to fruition, yes, yes, yes. And this was just 2022's vision we are looking at.
We've gone through a lot and marami pa tayong kailangang i-achieve, no? We are not just an ordinary university, we are one that is locally funded. So, that should be, part of our DNA. The question now is, can we find the middle way in behaving like a university and behaving like an LUC? My answer is obviously there is a middle way. So we can do things that would sort of fit our profile as an LUC and yet being faithful to our reason for existence as a university. But at the same time, I also want us to be mindful that we might be congratulating ourselves too much. What's the trouble? The trouble is complacency. Gagaling na tayo okay na yan. We don't want that. Mindful tayo palagi. Number 1, the dangers of standardization. There's still ways of not sacrificing and not surrendering our creativity just so that you could be standard. Another thing would be over-regulation. But there's also a flip side to it. Do we really deserve to be given very little supervision? Tanungin natin yan. Sa mga attendance, just little things like those. We always brag about the fact that we have an AIP of about 1.2 billion, a budget of about 800 or so million. But is it responsive to becoming a university that would find itself in the world ranking? Kaya sabi ko yung VP Ivan, pagtripan natin, aralin natin yung budget. We might be prioritizing on the wrong things and not putting a lot of money on the right things.
We need to align our academic policy. We have to look at the retention criteria, not only for non-Makati residents, but for Makati residents as well. So in that way, we are raising the standard or quality of our graduates.
Personally, making the decision to join is I develop, a level of friendship to the different department heads. There will always be distractions, di ba, attorney? Meron talagang mga roadblocks na nawawala yung isang block nyo. Di ba? There will really be roadblocks along the way. Yung mga yun kanina, I really did it in purpose because I really wanted to see how we would react and how we would actually respond to situations like that. If we are still committed to the same goal and all of us are actually moving towards the right path, magagawa natin yun.
The moment the door opens, students or participants come rushing into the front row. And you know what we call the front row, friends? We call the front row the millionaires row. Why? Because this is where you could find people who are really, making the most out of the experience and want to get, their investment out of attending or being part of the sessions. So let's grab that moment, let's grab that opportunity to share our ideas and thoughts.
We know that all of us are leaders. We have our own authorities. Di ba? May kanya-kanya tayong ego, pride, power. Pero at that moment, may nag-emerge na leader sa amin. And that leadership continued until we executed na nanalo kami dun sa bola. Hindi lahat maging leader, dapat magpakumbaba kami. Humility for you to execute the task given.
And then cheers to the feast of perseverance, a symbol of our strength, resolve, and ability to overcome. Let us remind us that no challenge is insurmountable when we stand together. Now let's have face to face with one another. Kamao!